Just let the earth guide you and we'll go our own way. I can't watch any longer. Both of us can make each one stronger. I'm diving in and making my way for the top. My hand, I won't let you drown. Hold on tight, 'cause it's a long way down.
Hi, my name is Jess and I run Moody Music blog. Joining me today is Frontier Season, who I interviewed about this time last year. So how's it going for our yearly chat?
It's good.
As eventful as it probably could be, given the circumstances.
Very nice. I'll get you guys to introduce yourself and what you do in Frontier Season.
Cool. I'm Sam. I am the co-lead vocalist.
I'm Cooper. I'm that other co-lead vocalist.
And I'm Luke, and I do the synths, sampling, and backing vocals.
And you're also DJ Hydra, Feed Hydra.
Yes, that's a whole different thing. Not Frontier Season, but it is a thing, yeah.
Okay, so Frontier Season, I always feel like saying Frontier Touring for some reason, but it is Frontier Season. So since our last chat, it was when we spoke about Ambivalent.
Yep.
This time last year. Since then, you guys have released Wasteland and also a remix of Shadows, which was remixed by your very own Feed Hydra. And just in early December, you guys released Myriads. So we're just going to be having a little bit of chat about those songs today. So just to start off, I do just want to stretch your brains a little bit during lockdown back to Wasteland. And this song was very environmentally motivated. So what sparked the idea for Wasteland?
That one, Wasteland, is definitely, I would say probably the standout track from our EP. Whether you believe that to be the best song, that's up to you. I say it's the standout because it's probably the most different, both in terms of musically and lyrically. Most of our songs tend to be about togetherness and having a positive mental health and stuff like that.
A lot more personal.
Yeah. Wasteland, however, as you said, is a lot more environmental, but I guess it still kind of fits into that theme of togetherness. You know, it's very much about how we as the world need to think about how we're impacting the environment and whatnot. So I guess it still kind of fits thematically, but it's definitely it steps away from the whole mental health side of things that we usually focus on.
And did you send this song off to Peter Garrett? I feel like he would like it, like from Midnight Oil.
Not bad.
That actually is not a bad idea.
Wasteland Part 2.
He might even
Featuring Peter Garrett.
Yeah.
Midnight Oil Frontier Season collaboration.
Yeah.
See, this is what you're going to be looking forward to next December.
Can't wait for it. And also, because Luke, you are DJ Feed Hydra. For those who are new to Frontier Season, they have their very own DJ as one out of the 7 members of this metalcore band, because that is where Frontier Season gets their kind of techno-electric influence from.
Yes.
Luke, do you feel like it's a Black Eyed Peas and plus Fergie situation?
Yeah, I think, jokingly, I could say jokingly, yes, but no, because my background was growing up in that heavy metal scene, and like I said, I think I said it last time, Sid Wilson was one of my big inspirations, and just being able to bring my thing into this band is really, really cool. It's just an element that just gives it a little bit of difference and kind of makes it stand out amongst other stuff that is out there. So it's just nice to have that little bit of flair. I don't think it could be a Fergie Black Eyed Peas thing because I'm half the reason why the band started. So I didn't come along later.
I don't know.
You're more like Will I Am.
I keep thinking Will I Am and Sam I Am.
Yes.
Will I Sam?
Will I Sam?
Yeah. No, but yeah, it's good that I get to have the freedom and the creativity to do what I do in this band and just kind of add my touch to it. Yeah.
And was it a band decision to remix Shadows? Because Shadows is a song, I believe, did you release it before Ambivalent or maybe just after?
I think it was just before.
It was the first song we released from the EP, which was late 2020.
Wait, sorry, are you talking about the remix or the original version?
The original.
Oh,
The original came before.
yeah.
Ambivalent.
So that was like
Yeah.
late last year, late 2020, and yeah. So then at some point this year, you know, between these millions of music videos we're trying to do, we're like, hey, Luke, why don't you remix one of our songs? And he chose Shadows, and we think he slayed it.
Yeah.
And then we just put the little package together, the video and everything, and we're like, we gotta get this out for us, for Feed Hydra. It needed to be out there for sure.
It was just something, just like a little extra thing. And the band, a lot of the members in the band definitely did help me with that one there, and I just kind of put my lo-fi touch to it, and it came out a lot better than what I was expecting. So I was very, very happy with that. Yeah, I was very happy with how that came out. And it's just that something like if people don't know about it and they listen to it, it's just that surprising, this is quite nice. Yeah.
I want to move on to talking about your new song, which you as a band released earlier in December. It is called Myriads, and I have just double checked how to pronounce that for anyone watching it.
Well, you got
this
Ambivalent,
interview.
right?
Yeah, Ambivalent. Yeah. How was this song created? Actually, first off, what does Myriads actually mean?
So I think the technical definition of the word myriads is I think it's like a large group of voices. Is that right? Or just like a large group of people, I suppose?
It's like a multiple. It means multiple. Like you can have a myriad of options of choices or people.
An abundance.
I think generally people use it to describe like large groups of people.
Yeah.
But yeah, we chose to take the people route, and the song's written about how everyone in the world is basically searching for their purpose, and most of those people don't really know the right path to follow. And I guess our message is to say, you're not the only one that's lost. Everyone's going through it, and the sooner you realize that, the more you'll have other people to help you on that journey. And I decided to use the ocean as a metaphor, because why the hell not?
And how was the song actually created? Was this before lockdown, during lockdown? Were you guys sending PDF files to each other?
No, this
Not
was
PDF,
well before
other
lockdown.
files?
We got the scratch. I think we did the scratch demo in Darcy's basement.
2017 or something.
Yeah,
Probably.
ages and ages ago. Yeah, this has been,
I think,
a long time in the making.
I don't know if we said it, but with Ambivalent, which was the last one we did an interview for, that's the oldest song on the EP in terms of when we wrote it.
Yeah.
Myriads is the second oldest.
Yeah. So
it predates COVID by quite a bit, or the lockdowns, I should say. Yeah.
Now, you mentioned that Myriads being a reference to a group of people. Did that inspire the album art? Because I noticed the album art is very kind of weird, I want to say. Like faceless people, faceless mannequins.
Yeah, so I put that one together. Yeah, definitely. It's kind of because it's about feeling lost, like trying to find yourself amongst people. It's kind of like I went with the imagery of someone feeling like they're blending into the crowd of like faceless people. Everyone's faceless. Everyone's searching for who they are. And you're just feeling like you're blending in kind of imagery.
What about the model?
It's not every day.
What's that story behind there, huh?
It's not every day that you have to ask your father, hey, can I take topless photos of you? Well, just, we are still trying to create our art, our everything during these lockdowns. I'm like, I have this idea. I want it to be mannequins. I need somebody who might kind of look like a mannequin. Hey, my dad's bald. I can see him. I'll go take photos of my dad.
Have him posing.
Yeah, it was actually funny. I called him up. I'm like, can you model for our album cover? And he's like, yeah, absolutely. And he's like, I'm like, there is one thing. He's like, I will absolutely do nude. I'm like, not. That's good to know. I was halfway there, so good to know.
That's funny.
Well, that's good to know because the album art, it's just like waist up. So if you do ever need waist down, you've got to volunteer.
You might need to go to the Frontier Season OnlyFans when we start one.
What is it like? Myriads like explicit version.
Yeah. There's no black bars on the cover.
So just on that, with your model, are you working towards a music video for this new song?
For Myriads?
Yes.
That there is a music video out.
Yeah.
It dropped at the same time. It's a live video. The way that came up was because we got out of you remember that brief like 3-week period where between lockdowns? Yeah.
Back in May.
We were lucky enough to secure a pretty decent show. We were even luckier to be headlining it. We were even luckier that it was packed. And so we took that opportunity to reach out to some of our filmmaker friends that we know. And we said, hey, this is going to be our next single out. We don't really have a great idea for a music video that we can shoot during a lockdown. If we go back into it, can you film us and make it as dynamic as possible? And they did. And it came out pretty cool. They decided to go with this whole like trippy kind of visual, which matches with the weird duality of genres that are in the song.
There's a little bit of a psychedelic feel to the synths.
Yeah.
So like, I guess they kind of caught on to that and went with that.
Yeah. So anyone watching, reading, or listening, if you haven't seen the video, check it out because it came out pretty cool.
Yeah.
And it's a taste. If you haven't seen us live, it's kind of a little taste of what you can expect as well.
That was the Cherry Bar show with the Suburbs.
It was, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah,
That's the
yeah.
one.
Yes. Yeah.
How did it feel to play a headlining gig?
Mad.
I mean, we've done headliners in the past, but honestly, completely candid, we shouldn't have because we just did not have the following necessary at the time. And I personally was a bit doubtful about headlining that one, but we were kind of forced to do it. But in retrospect, I shouldn't have been worried because it was at least my favorite show that I've ever played, and it was really good.
It was definitely my favorite.
100% agree. Like the room was full. Everyone was in a good vibe, good headspace. Everyone was having fun. There were people singing along. There were people moshing, dancing. To not just us, but everybody. It was just like the whole night had such an amazing vibe, and like
it was like an awesome house party.
So
like when people just wanted to move.
Yeah, it was you know, like Sam said, like we kind of fell into headlining that one not on purpose, but like in the end, I think it was an honor to headline such like a fun night.
Yeah.
What do you mean you accidentally became headlinings?
So we secured the spot for the show. Who opened that night?
That was
Seven.
Yeah, it was Seddon. Seddon opened it. The band Seddon. We're good friends with Steve Canatelli, so we asked the Suburbs to play, and he said yes, of course, except we don't want to headline. And we said, well, shit, better find someone bigger than us to headline then. And in the end, we just couldn't, so we were forced to headline. But hey, as we said, it turned out pretty cool.
Well, you can't find anyone bigger, like literally with a 7-piece band.
It's true.
True.
That's very true.
The stage was not big enough for us.
No, definitely not. No.
That's what I was going to say. Yeah.
I mean, we're used to it by now. We're used to it.
Yeah.
A lot of us were running into the crowd, so it was a lot of fun.
I don't know the last time I spent a whole show on the stage.
Yeah,
I don't know.
we had a mad party with that one there. It was, like I said, it was a really great turnout, and it was just such an awesome night, and it was lucky too, because shortly after that we went back into lockdown. We got lucky with the timing.
Yeah, it's definitely one of the things that made it so great was like it was such a good night with good vibes, and then you know it was like one of the last times we could do that at the time.
Last time we had a chat, you guys mentioned, well, because Frontier Season is such a dynamic band, you guys have such a huge just melting pot of genres within your music. I just want to get an update on how that country song is going.
I knew that was going to be the question too. I knew it.
Well, we actually just locked down Peter Garrett to feature on it. It's on the cards. It's on the cards.
Still on the cards.
Look, I'll say this. Knowing us, it will not be a purely country song, but it will probably, be in the middle of the breakdown and then bam, country.
Yeah, there'll be at least one banjo, at least one slide guitar.
There's a song by The Chariot, and I can't remember. I think it's Forget Not Your First. It's First. I think the song's called First, and it's a metalcore song for like a minute and a half, and then it goes full spaghetti western with like whips and everything, and that is exactly what this song's gonna be.
Instead of guitar riffs, you have banjo riffs.
We're really building the lore for this song that doesn't exist.
I'm like so excited for it.
I'll make it happen.
Please don't. I was actually
Come on.
You know this is what's gonna happen next December for our annual
I'll be at the
catch-up.
single launch. I will review the single launch for it.
Jess is going to be there going, you know what, guys, I don't think this interview is going to work.
I was actually expecting one of you to rock up to this interview in a cowboy hat.
I have one in my car.
No, you don't.
I do.
Oh my God.
I legit do. I should have done it.
Is that-
I was at a cowboy dress-up party just the other day.
All right, fair enough. Checks out.
Oh
Only
shit!
Luke.
I should have done it. I'll save it for the next one.
Next one. But next year, one's in a cowboy hat, and then we've got like a Santa hat, reindeer ears. It's gonna work out. It's gonna be great.
You got it.
Oh, that's funny.
So you've just mentioned an EP before. All these singles that you've been releasing, are they for a new EP? For an upcoming one?
Technically, it's our first EP. Hopefully, it'll be our only one, except,
What do you mean? The only one?
Ultimately, I think we'd like to move into album territory.
Mm.
But we've got one song left to release that will consider this EP complete.
So we wanted to do a video and a release for every song off the EP before the EP came out.
Yeah, I think it kind of, as well as keeping people on their toes for like what music to expect, like in terms of genre. It's a good way to, I guess, keep people interested over a longer period of time. Granted, with COVID, it's taken way longer than it probably should have. I mean, we can blame COVID all we want, but ultimately, I think it comes down a little bit to laziness as well. Yeah. But yeah, we've got one song left. It's probably our biggest one in terms of production scale. Like, we put a lot of money into it. We put a lot of time into it. We put a lot of planning into it. It's awesome. It's amazing, the final product. So you can expect that kind of like January, probably next year.
Have you said the name of it?
complete. I don't know. Can we say the name of it?
No.
Why not?
Oh, if you want it. Do you want it?
Well, what's it going to
Well,
reveal?
it's gonna come out anyway.
Let's do it.
It's called Forsaken.
Forsaken. Okay. Can you tell me anything else about Forsaken? It sounds very heavy, almost like gothic.
Do you mean tell you more in terms of the release, like the video, or
What do you want to know? What do you want to know,
everything.
Jess?
all right? Well, I'll tell you this. It was the last song we wrote for the EP.
So
In fact, we wrote it in the studio, so that's probably enough.
It was too far out.
So every song you've heard so far was written before Forsaken. So this journey of style and stuff all culminates at Forsaken. Yeah.
Okay. So Forsaken's like the big show, like what everyone's waiting for.
I suppose so. I mean, it was meant to be the first one that we released.
Yeah.
But then shit hit the fan, and here we are. It's
Like-
the last song.
Like Sam was alluding to, the production of this one, the video and everything was a bit bigger. So we were focusing on it at the start, but then when COVID happens, there was no way.
Yeah.
There was just no way it was happening at that time. So to be honest, I kind of prefer that it ended up being the last.
It got frustrating because we almost had the date and then the lockdown happened again as we were about to shoot. And we're like,
But the product that we've received, I'm glad we waited for this one.
Sounds very exciting. And I'm guessing it's featuring Peter Garrett.
Never say never.
It's not too late, right?
So going into next year, you guys are wrapping up this EP. What have you got in terms of gigs? When are people going to be able to see Frontier Season again live on stage? I think you guys should sneak onto a festival.
Ooh, wouldn't say no.
oddly enough, who was it that mentioned we should have been? It was which radio station was it? They said
It was not quite midnight.
not quite midnight. Apparently, yeah, we're saying how is this band not like playing at festivals? Yeah, so that was a big compliment to us. That was a massive compliment because they just obviously heard Myriads. And yeah, look, we're not too sure as to what's happening gig-wise in future.
We are working on things that are new and different and exciting that will affect everything, including our live show. So once we have all that ready, we'll be back and hopefully better than ever.
Yeah.
I think better than ever, but hopefully better than ever.
I love the confidence. Hopefully better than ever.
Well, we don't get to decide that.
Well,
The audience
yeah,
decides.
exactly.
It's better.
Some people love change, some people embrace it, some people hate it, and I hope that people like it.
Do you guys write different lyrical parts for each other? Because clean and screamo.
Generally, there are songs where we have collaborated and written together. I've written my parts, he's written his parts, or I might have written a few of his parts and he's written a few of my parts. With the EP and the songs so far, it's definitely been more, these are songs that Sam has written and he's written my parts. And then there's songs where I've written all the lyrics and I've written his parts. So Ambivalent is mine. I wrote all the lyrics and in Sam's parts, and then like Wasteland is all Sam. He wrote my parts and his own. But I am definitely trying. I've always really liked when we collaborated more. So like I'm proud of what we've done on the EP. I definitely want us with the newer stuff to be ours, rather than Cooper wrote this song, Sam wrote that song. And I remember someone saying to me very early on is the parts that they liked best about our songs was when it was more like not call and response-ish, but like where our vocals were more together and like intertwining. And I really want to bring that into the newer stuff as well.
Be very keen to hear it then.
Me too.
Yeah.
Do you guys have any final words that you would like to say on behalf of the band, about Myriads, about the EP, or any messages you want to get out to fans?
I guess I'd just like to say that it's really cool that we're still seeing such a good, pretty much overwhelming response to everything that we put out, even though as infrequent as it might be, to show that people still care that we're here. We're not planning on going anywhere anytime soon. We might be quiet from time to time, but we'll always be working on something in the background, just slower than we might like to.
It may be slow, but it is always in the works, for sure.
Yeah.
I guess I'd also like to say now that stuff's open up again, please go see some bands, go to shows, go see your local, like the local guys and girls. Let's check everyone out. Have a good night out. Go buy some drinks, support the venues.
Yeah.
Just go and like, even if you don't even know who's playing, just head down to the Bendigo, head down somewhere, and just let's get this going again. Let's just get it all going.
Couldn't be a more perfect time to get weird and just like go explore new
Exactly.
Yeah, this is like everyone's been bottled up, man. I could only imagine how much pent up energy there is for a lot of people out there.
Yeah.
And you know, especially for the people who are struggling and that getting through this, it's like, it's just, if there's a time to go out and enjoy life as much as possible, this is the moment. Yeah.
And you know what? On that,
yeah,
there are artists and bands who have been struggling with mental stuff as well over the last 2 years. So double whammy. Support yourself. Get out there and go support them as well, and make everyone just feel the love.
Yeah.
Going to gigs is self-care for everyone involved.
Yeah,
100%.
Yes.
Definitely.
Absolutely.
But be safe. Go mosh, but don't hurt anybody.
It's very affordable therapy. Yeah.
Thank you all so much for joining me. I will leave links to Frontier Season's social media in the description of this interview, and also links to Moody Music's social media as well. Thank you, Sam, Cooper, and Luke from Frontier
Thank you
Season.
very much for having us.
Thanks, Jess. Thank you
Have
so
a Merry
much.
Christmas and a Happy New Year.
Thank you, you too. Happy Christmas, Happy New Year. Thank you so much for joining me, and thank you so much for your time.
You're very welcome. Take care of yourself, all right?
Thank you. Bye.
Bye-bye.